What's going on, gamers? Here we are back with some more of the Ascent, and today I'm going to be going over my top choices for the tactical gear. So if you want to know what I think stands out more than any other, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back, you guys and girls. As always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe bell icon? But for today, I'm here to show you my tactical choices that I feel stand out above all the rest. There's quite a few that you can pick. Some are just straight up bad, some are really nice, and some are just really good in either all situations or certain playstyles. But the ones I'm going to pick are these ones just here. So first off, just in case you don't know, your tactical all revolves around this. So the higher you have in your skill points for tactical sense, the better you'll get your recovery rate on it, meaning you'll be able to use your tactical move much more. As well as, if you go just over to here, your module slot, if you chuck that on tactical charge, again, that's going to recharge the tactical equipment faster, meaning that you can make builds really reliable, whereas before, if you didn't have any in that, your tactical will never be up and you won't be using it much at all, or you'll just think it's very lackluster. So if we go over to our loadout, and you can see there's quite a few tacticals that you can pick, but some of them are better than others. Now there's three for me that really stand out. The first one is definitely going to be this one just here, and that is none other than the rejuvenation field. This one is absolutely beast mode. It's really nice because it means that you can have two augmentations on your character that don't revolve around healing, whereas usually you'll have one healing thing in your build just to make sure you survive. This one, it kind of takes up that slot, chucks it on the floor, and as you're doing damage, it's going to be boosting this up, because if you have a little look, the charge time on it is ridiculously high. So you're going to want to make sure that you're doing a lot of damage, you've got a lot in tactical, otherwise rejuvenation field just won't be the best. But if you have got quite a few skill points in it, and if you're making sure that you're using it very often, as much as you can, you should survive pretty much all encounters. It's one of the best area effect moves in the game, and absolutely great if you're playing in co-op as well, as everyone can jump in it and get healed up. The only thing you've got to make sure of is that you're not letting the enemies get in there, because if you do, they're going to get healed as well, and it can really prolong those battles, especially on boss fights and such. Another thing you're going to want to watch out for is the fact that it can be targeted, it can be hit, and it can be destroyed quite easy. So I would say when you're standing in it, if they're focus firing on you, make sure you're not standing behind the middle and you're instead slightly off center. If you're not being overwhelmed by too many enemies, in that case there's a good chance that it will go down. Now next up, and just straight up the coolest looking one, is definitely this one right here, the GX43 Sweet Justice. Now this one is really nice as it has a very low cooldown. 400 is the charge, and it's one of the best looking and just one of the best tactical things in the game. Basically it's a grenade, but instead of it doing a massive explosion, it does a gravity fold, which crushes anything within range. It basically jumps them up and then slams them down. Really cool. Definitely one of the best looking ones, and amazing for giving you that little brief time to get away, do what you need to do, regroup, whatever you need to do. This is definitely one of the go-tos for me. Just such a fun utility item to use, and it does an absolute big chunk of damage. So you get it as a utility item and a damage item, and it pretty much does the job all in all. This one is hands down the best grenade in my view, because it's just so useful. You have it very often because of the low cooldown. It does an absolute abundance of damage, and it gives you that chance to do what you need to do. If you need to use it and then run away for a little bit, you very well can. If you need to finish them off, you very well can. An out and out amazing tactical item to have, and will work in pretty much any loadout. Now last but definitely not least, and this one's my favourite go-to to use, and you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but it's the AT4 auto turret. Now before you've clicked off this video and you've absolutely unsubscribed because you think what the heck am I talking about, it's not for the damage. It has just so much versatility to it. When it does hit, it hits pretty hard, harder than some of the mono robots you get in your augmentation slot. However, sometimes I must admit this thing can just decide not to shoot at things, which is a bit of a pain, and it's not going to do as much damage as yourself obviously, but all in all, considering you can have quite a few of them out at one time, so if you're fighting, if you're doing a lot of damage, you can have a few of these out. And one of the best things is it's classed as kind of a distraction, or it kind of tanks things, should I say. So meaning you don't have to worry about having a mono defender on or anything such as that. This is going to take quite a bit of aggro for you. It's going to do a bit of damage, it's going to take a lot of aggro. You can have a fair few of them out. I've had up to 3 of them out at one time, and good all round. Even if it decides not to shoot, honestly, sometimes it's just good having it out on the field, just so that it's taking the damage that you would have taken in its place, kind of thing. For myself, I definitely think this is the top slot because it just has a lot of health pool. It lasts quite a long time, it's got a lot of health pool, it does a fair bit of damage, not the most in the world, I'm not going to lie, but it does enough to take on enemies, and like I said, it aggroes things. Really nice, really handy, and great on pretty much any loadout. Right, well you gamers, that's my top 3 choices. I am sure that some of you will definitely be like, what the heck is that number 1 choice for? But yeah, I really like these auto turrets. They come in so handy, and they just tank a lot of the aggro, meaning that you can kind of run behind cover, get your health back, shoot above it, do whatever you need to do, and then they're going to do that whenever they decide to do that. But if you've got a different choice, chuck it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. But as always guys and girls, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, take care. I'll see you on next day.